Does a new law of physics prove we live in a simulation? It's an article I got here in front of me. I read it earlier, and I thought it would make a good video. That seems to be one of the new philosophies really surrounding our generation. Are we living in a simulation? And the subtitle is, and if it does it really change anything? Well, I think that would change a lot if we're living in a simulation. I'm going to read just a little bit of this article, and then when we get down to the end of it, I'll give you my opinion on whether I believe, as a Bible-believing Christian, whether we live in a simulation or not. But I also want to talk about a statement that's made in this article concerning the foundation of reality being information. I think that's extremely important. And so, the early 90s were an exciting time, full of promise and expectation. The new millennium was on the horizon. Unlike other simulation hypotheses, Vopson and Lapatitou offer a method of testing their idea. If the second law of infodynamics really exists, then the information should be the fundamental building block of the universe. I'm going to read that statement again. Then the information should be the fundamental building block of the universe, represented by a particle with mass. And if that's true, we should be able to detect it by smashing particles and antiparticles together in a super collider. So, as I said, when I got to the end of this video, or this article, of course, I'm sure I've edited through the meat of the article. I'll put a link in the description box below if you really want to go and read the entire article. It's important. I think it's something to look into, research, and just let your mind expand a little bit as you read things like this. I love reading articles like this. I love reading all the latest philosophies and laws of physics and a lot of the science that categorizes and characterizes our current generation. And the reason why is it usually, almost always, lends support to or proves the Bible. And I'll show you what I'm talking about. So now, taking a look at Genesis chapter 1, this is what the Christian or the Bible student would call the creation narrative of the Bible. It begins like this. In the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth. For every Christian out there who is a Bible-believing student of the Word, this is the origin of human life. In the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth. There's a little bit of difference in the Christian faith about how God did that, but every Christian agrees, in the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth. And what's so interesting about this chapter, as you notice verse 3, it says, then God said, let there be light. Verse 6, it also says, then God said. And then you move down to verse 9, then God said. And you keep going down to verse 11, then God said, and on and on and on. Verse 14, then God said. There's a theme in this chapter, then God said. The idea being that creation came upon the word of God. Then God said, or then God spoke, and the heavens were created. The earth was created. The grass of the earth was created. The animals of the earth was created. Man of the earth was created because of the word of God. Now that's significant because when you go over to John 1:1, John 1:1 starts out in the beginning. Starts out just like the book of Moses, Genesis, started in the beginning. What's it say? In the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God. Speaking of Jesus Christ as the Word incarnate, or Word made flesh. That word there, word, is comes from the Greek word logos. Logos is like divine utterance. That's the literal rendering of logos. God's divine utterance brought about creation. Let me read just a little bit farther down here. He was in the beginning, speaking of the Word, Christ, he was in the beginning with God, And here it is. All things came into being through him, through the Word. And apart from him, nothing came into being that has come into being. In the Word, him, was life, and the life was the light of men. All things came into being. Verse 3, all things came into being through the divine utterance of God. Okay? Now take that back to our article, which states real clearly right here. If it says, if the second law of infodynamics really exists, then information should be the fundamental building block of the universe. Yes, it is. And the Bible told us that. Moses in the book of Genesis says, in the beginning God created the heavens and the earth. Then God said, or then God spoke. That was the beginning of all life and all creation. Information from God, the Word. Not just any information, the Word. In the beginning was the Word. All things came into being through this Word, through this Logos, through this divine utterance. So that's all I had to say. That's all I wanted to share with you guys. Let me know in the comment section below what you think about this. God bless.